Hey, what's up guys? I know it's been like 4 months since you saw me last. I wanted to come back with a little bit higher quality of a video since we're starting to get into the big things when it comes to finishing up the JZX. So over the last few months, if you guys follow me on TikTok, Instagram, or any of the other platforms where I post more consistently, you'll see that I've been getting a lot of the body work and a lot of the paint work done on the chassis itself. I was about to paint the rest of the car when I ran into a huge snag with the driver's side rear door where it appeared to have been pushed in like 3/16 of an inch. So I know you're all dying to know what is going on with the doors on the JZX and the B-pillar. And it's actually nowhere near as detrimental as I made it seem in the last video. After doing a bit more research and using my eyes a little bit more, I decided to take some measurements and here's what we came up with. Alright, so I went ahead and put some tape on this door right here, then I laid some fiberglass on it so I could make the shape of the door so I could check it on all the other ones. Here it is on this one, lines up pretty good, right? So that means that this door and this door at the front where they meet have the same exact arch and angle. Then on this door, the whole body line tapers down to become less aggressive so it can meet up with the quarter panel. So back here, it's not quite gonna fit up the same. Then we come over to the side in question. Just to confirm, backwards the mold fits up exactly the same, no gap, no issues. Then we move it to this door. That's not good. That's actually pretty off. So then, after I realized that, grab my scale right here, just to make sure we're measuring at the same place on both sides. Here's this little clip, and then here's this little raised piece of metal. Here's where we're lined up. Then you come over to the door that's not messed up, and you take the same measurement, and look at how far we're off. 3/16 of an inch. So this door is actually messed up, and you can see that on this top corner here, there had been filler put on it in the past and it cracked a little bit. So this door is actually pretty messed up, and I don't see any way I'm gonna be able to pound out 3/16 of an inch. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna order a brand new door from Japan, like I did with the passenger side front door, get that here, install that, make sure it fits good, weld up the holes, and then I'll be able to paint it. And because I don't have the tools to like pull dents or pull doors, and there was like a bunch of Bondo built up on it, I really didn't want to go back in there and like try to repair that door. So I had to order one from Japan, and in the time I've been waiting for it from Japan, I decided to start taking care of the audio system and the little things inside the car like sound deadening and all the other creature comforts that I want to kind of nail down in this build while I bring it up to, you know, a higher quality. So that's kind of where we're at with the JZX at the moment. And then if you guys don't already know, I got the 2JZGTE right here that I'm going to be rebuilding and putting into the JZX because it came stock with a 1J, and the ability to convert the harness and make it run off of the car and the way it's set up is a lot easier than, you know, other swaps. And plus it's a 2J, and I think we all probably want a 2J. So with that being said, I know the 2JZGTE is a pretty sought after engine. I know a lot of people wish they had one that they could swap into their car or start a project with. So I'm announcing a giveaway for a 2JZGTE. I'll have the details later, but I wanted to get that out of the way for you guys so we could continue with the video. We made it. It's like 2 in the morning. Just got over to the Stratosphere. Gonna go find my room and then Sema in the morning. See y'all later. Sema checking out all these builds. This is what's up right here. We like the Chaser. The 1J non-VVTi looks amazing. An S13 at Sema. Oh, something doesn't seem right about that. Full carbon though, that's pretty cool. Alright, trip's over. I got my JDM taxi service here to pick me up. The old Beammobile. Hi! Hello. I went out and found a brand new OEM backstock KA24DE for a Frontier. I just paid 450 bucks for this, and well, I'm gonna go put it together. So obviously the bores are completely stock, and the rod journals are too. Here I'm lapping all the valves on a KA24DE head that I pulled off an S13 KA in preparation to put onto the Frontier block. Surprisingly enough, the castings are exactly the same, minus a few minor details, and all you have to do is get the timing covers from the Frontier block, and you can put it onto the S13 head, and it'll work just fine. Alright, it's time. I got 3/4 of the KA24DE put together to swap into this thing. Now it's time to take out the blown single jingle. In a 24-hour period, I went ahead and removed my KA24DE from my Nissan D21 and replaced the engine block with a 0-mile brand new old stock block that I was able to source from Facebook Marketplace. Here I'm scrubbing the entire block with soapy warm water so I can remove any last particles from the machining process. Knowing that my plan was to pretty much swap everything over from the old block to the new block, it was very easy to disassemble it in a way that would help with this process. One of the most motivating factors behind making the choice to switch over to the 0-mileage engine block was that I already did all the sourcing of parts that I need to put the KA24DE inside the D21. So at that point, it was just a matter of getting the job done. So I figured this will probably be a good time to explain to you guys why I didn't use the original KA I put together. It was a 200,000 plus mile engine block that had been overheated multiple times and then was seized due to the last time it being overheated being left to sit. The amount of material that needed to be removed in the honing process left the cylinders a little bit too open for the piston rings to seat with a small enough gap to have the proper compression. At a minimum, it would need to be bored over. Oh look, I skinned my finger when I was putting together the new block. With that being said, I think if anybody had the choice to choose between a 0-mile brand new engine block and a 200,000 mile overheated several times engine block, they're gonna choose the first option. So obviously I did the job twice, but I'm more than happy with the results and I don't have to worry about anything with my truck moving forward. So thanks for watching, and here's the first start. Alright, well, I'm in the D21 right now. It's officially got like 3 miles on it. Fresh, brand new 0-mile KA that I just rebuilt and put in it. I got no power steering right now, so I'm on my way over to AutoZone so I can get myself a belt. So this is fun muscling it around though, I must say. It's really loud too because the header that I picked up from the junkyard, they cut the cat off before the flange on the actual downpipe. So I have to take the single... have to take a small section off the single cam downpipe and weld it onto the dual cam downpipe so it'll meet up to the catalytic converter. But while I'm there, I might as well throw in a test pipe, so get my money for the catalytic converter. Here I'm painting the engine bay with Tropical Glitz's Seductive Cherry. I first laid down a black base coat and I'm spraying over it with the Seductive Cherry mid coat. If you aren't already aware, when I stripped down this entire engine bay, I went ahead and removed the battery tray and I also stitch welded the entire engine bay and then seam sealed it in order to get nice structural rigidity out of the entire front end of the chassis. Look at that paint pop. After I got the engine bay done, I decided I was going to go ahead and spray the chassis. I haven't sprayed a lot of cars in my time, so I learned a lot through this process and I definitely attack it a little bit differently next time. However, all the experience I can gain behind the gun is beneficial because, well, if I want to do this and I want to continue to learn and grow, then I have to be willing to make mistakes and then learn and critique myself and then move on from there. So after I sprayed the jams in, I went ahead and maxed it up the next day and did the quarter panels and the roof. I think at this point it probably would have been a better idea to put the doors on, but hey, that's where you learn, right? Ran my foot over. Did I? I was on a roll that week, so I decided I was going to grab the trunk and the hood, prep those, and spray the insides of them as well, so once I get the door in, I can go ahead and spray all the rest of the car together. With the outside of the car painted and the whole door situation going on, I figured I could attack the inside of the car with some sound deadening and get that taken care of so I can just, continue moving on with the process. Here I'm using a 57mm butyl based sound deadener, and I went back over it with a 157mm foam that you can see right here. All in all, I think it did exactly what I was looking for, because when I knocked down the bare metal and then knocked down the 57 layer and then the 157 layer, just a huge difference between the amount of dampening and muffling that you hear in the reverberation of the car. So now that that's in, I figured I could just put in the chassis harness and get that all put into place so I don't have to worry about that. And then once I did that, I placed the carpet over it and then started to wire in all of my new 12 gauge wire for my new sound system. Once I got all the audio wires routed to the back, I went ahead and sound deadened the entire trunk in preparation for the audio system. Oh, the cow moved back. What's up, dude? This man's got a turkey. He's an adolescent. He was explaining to me that it would have a beard. Either way, I'm over here getting my 2J head surfaced and cleaned. It's beautiful. Alright, so the cylinder head is completely clean, and we got it in the machine shop now. This is really sick, because he's just got this thing like hiding in his garage. Pretty sick. But we're just going to throw this up on the mill. He's got all the machines here. You can balance your cranks, bore your blocks, build your blocks. I have no idea what that is. That's a CNC. This is badass. Alright, so I took my 2JZ cylinder head down to Outcast Precision Machining, and I let him deck it until it was level, which required taking off like 30 thousandths, which is absolutely absurd. However, Cometic makes like 2.2 mil head gaskets and I think up to 2.5 mil head gaskets. So I'm just going to reach out to them, I'm going to order that head gasket, and then we should be good to go. Whoever sold me this head, I'm not going to mention him by name because that would be kind of mean, but don't appreciate it at all. And when I messaged the person about the fact that the head was warped beyond belief, they ignored me. Just goes to show you can't trust people, and you know, not everybody has integrity. So I guess we all know why that car was never completed, because it was overheated to high hell, and it was gotten so hot that it warped a stock head over 3 mils, which is absurd. So with that being said, I took a quick trip down to Outcast Precision Machining to get the 2JZGTE cylinder head resurfaced for reassembly. With that part of the process complete, I figured it would be a good time to go ahead and disassemble the entire 2JZ block that I'm going to be putting this cylinder head on. This starts by removing every piece that can be removed from the block, inspecting everything, cleaning it all, in preparation to put back together. Thankfully, this engine came out of a running car, so the odds that it's unhealthy are pretty low, which gives me a lot of peace of mind when it comes to reassembling the engine. I've got 2JZGTE pistons right here that I'm going to be swapping in because this is a GE block. The only difference between a GE block and a GTE block is an oil feed for the turbo and oil squirters, and oil squirters really aren't necessary anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and put the head on there, and I'll be able to run it because it's a VVTi block, so it has the oil feed for the VVTi solenoid, so I don't have to worry about converting any of that like you would if it was a GE non-VVTi block. So it's pretty easy, pretty simple, but we'll get into that later. Here's the cylinder head in all her beauty. I'm just going to keep her wrapped up for the time being, and I'm going to see if I can source some new valves for it. Also, in case you're wondering, this is the JZ for the giveaway. This is an unopened JDM import engine right here. We tested the compression, it was 180 across the board, so if there's any confusion at all, this is not the engine that's being rebuilt. This has not been opened up. The magic beans have not been let out. This is a good, healthy engine ready to go to one of you guys with a Precision 6766 turbo, a standalone harness, a standalone ECU. It's worth over like 15 grand. So this is a different engine than the one I'm rebuilding over there. And if you guys don't know about what I'm talking about with this, well, I'm doing a giveaway, and I have all the information pinned on my Instagram, on my TikTok, and on my Facebook, and you can find out the information there, but I'll give you a rundown really quick anyways. If you buy anything on my website at shopdabitat.com, anything being t-shirts, because that's all we have, you'll be entered into the giveaway. Every $5 you spend will earn you 1 entry. With the shirts being $30, when you purchase a shirt, you get 6 entries into the giveaway. If you choose to purchase more shirts, you get more entries into the giveaway. I'm going to be announcing this in a few months here. Since it's the first one, I don't really know how quickly we're going to reach our goal. But obviously we need to reach our goal in order to announce a winner and then ship the engine out and make it a feasible process that actually makes sense. So, like I said, if you want to participate, you can purchase a shirt at shopdabitat.com. That'll get you 6 entries in if you spend $30. Every additional $5 spent will gain you another entry into the giveaway. So go ahead and get your merchandise, get your entries, and hopefully you win a 2J. If you don't know, on the JZX, I had a hiccup with the door over here. I already told you guys about that, but I got it in. It's all prepped. It's sitting over here on the stands. And then I went ahead and ordered myself some new fenders because the ones I had were super messed up. They had rolled it on the car, and because they rolled it on the car, it pulled this whole area around the door out, and there's no way it was ever going to go back to the way it was supposed to be. So I went ahead and bought these fenders, and I ordered some metal fender arches, like the ones on the back, and I'm going to be welding them onto the front here. Once they're welded on, the rest of the car is going to get painted. And in the meantime, everything should come in for the JZ block, so I should be able to assemble that, paint this, and then get it all together for you guys. And then obviously myself too, because like nobody wants to drive this thing more than I do. Like there's no way you guys want to see this car more than I want to drive this car. So trust me, I'm getting it done. I always come down at the perfect time. This is Nick's Z31. They're about to restore this thing. I got to return his tools to him.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Both of them?
Both of them. I
verify.
swear. Verify. Can I have my ID back now? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That one's mine.
I hold your debit card to borrow a socket.
He's just messing around.
I'm
Look at
gonna
that.
run a credit check.
VG30E. Only a little tiny bit of rust. The rest of the car is beautiful.
I have a crazy story to tell you about this car too.
What's that?
I can't tell you on camera, but I'll tell you off camera about it.
Sorry, guys.